I'm addicted. I'm in. I am hooked, whatever you want to call it. I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning to get up early enough to make sure that I don't miss the first pitch between the LG Twins and the Doosan Bears. I am addicted to the KBO. Baseball's back. The KBO's giving me my fix, and I'm 100% in. Since there are so many new people, new eyes, new fans on the KBO this season, I thought it would be the perfect time to go ahead and release a video talking about every single team, why you should root for them, some information, and hopefully make it easier for you to decide what team in the KBO you're going to root for in the 2020 season. For me, I've gone with the LG Twins. My decision has been made. Apparently, they're like the New York Mets in the KBO, so it just felt like the perfect fit. I can give MLB comparisons. You won't see them in this video, but maybe if we do get enough support, I'll do it in another video later this week to compare every KBO team to a major league franchise. So if you guys do enjoy this video, you want to see more KBO content on the channel, make sure to leave a like. That's the best way to show your support. If you love baseball, MLB, KBO, whatever it is, hit that sub button, join the team. Remember to get in the comments down below. Let me know what team you have picked after you've watched this video. And don't forget, we can continue the conversation. I'm talking about the KBO all day on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links in the description down below. So there was a pretty good amount of research that went into this. I had a lot of help thanks to 3 great guys on Twitter right now. You've got Daniel Kim, who's like the KBO insider for ESPN. You've got Dan Kurtz, who runs My KBO Stats. Super awesome website for keeping up to date with all the information. And then you've got Baseball Brit, who's been helping out a lot of their tweets, a lot of their information I've been using in this video. So make sure you check and support them out in the links in the description. There are 10 teams in the KBO. I'm going to run through details about every single one of them, and hopefully it allows you to be able to pick which team you're going to root for easier in 2020. So let's get started with the defending Korean Series champions, which is essentially their World Series, the Doosan Bears. The Doosan Bears are a very, very good team. They have won 3 of the last 5 Korean Series. Like I said, that is the World Series for the KBO, and they have been in the Korean Series every year since 2015. So if they're not winning it, they're at least finishing in second. They play in Seoul, which is essentially the New York City of South Korea. It's the biggest city in the country. It's the most popular city, the most famous city. In their entire history, they've won 6 Korean Series or 6 championships, whatever you want to call it. So like I said, I'm going to hammer home. This is the winner team right here. Their mascot, of course, since they are the Doosan Bears, is a bear. Name, I'm not going to pronounce it very well. Chulwangi? Might have butchered that, I'm sorry. They play in Jamsil Stadium in Seoul. They share it with the LG Twins. We will get to that in a second. Big rivalry there, as you can imagine. And they have some pretty clean looking jerseys. Their home jerseys, nice. Their away jerseys are probably some of my favorites. I'll go more in depth into jerseys and logos in a video because there are some great jerseys and logo. Like almost every single team has good stuff, but they've got nice colors to rock with. Foreign players on their team, you're allowed 3 for each team. They've got Chris Flexen of the New York Mets formerly, Raul Alcantara, and Jose Miguel Fernandez. Some notable players that are on the team that aren't foreign born: Jaewon Kim, who actually had some MLB aspirations. A down 2019 season kept him out of it, but in 2018 he went off, so he's a guy that you could maybe see make the move to the MLB at some point. Hanwha Park, who's a right fielder for the team, pretty high OPS, not a big homer guy, but a very nice and capable hitter. And then they've also got Hui Kwan Yu. He's a left-handed pitcher, been with the organization for a while, kind of like that old reliable left-handed pitcher. Really good team, win a lot of games, so if you like winning, might be a good choice. Second team of today's video is going to be the Hanwha Eagles. The Hanwha Eagles are owned by Hanwha. They play in Daejeon. They've won 1 championship. They have 3 mascots, and of course, since they are the Eagles, they are bird-like mascots. Winnie, Binnie, and Sori, definitely a cool looking mascot. Hanwha is another one like Doosan, a big conglomerate company. They do aerospace, construction, infrastructure, esports. They're all over the place. Their jersey's pretty simple. They got a little bit of white, they got a little bit of black, they got a little bit of orange, and they play in Hanwha Life Insurance Eagles Park. Pretty cool looking stadium. Foreign players are gonna be Warwick Saupold, who's Australian, had a little bit of cup of tea in the majors. Jared Hoying, power hitting left-handed batter, played with the Rangers a little bit in the majors. And then they also have Chad Bell, who's a pitcher on the team. He played with the Detroit Tigers at one point. And Woo Ram Jung. Woo Ram Jung is like this lights out left-handed pitcher who's a closer for the Eagles, pretty solid. And then Taekyun Kim is like the legend of the Hanwha Eagles. He's been there forever. 37 years old, hit over 300 homers in the league. He's one of their legends. For the third team, we've got the Kia Tigers. The Kia Tigers, they win a lot. They have the most Korean Series wins in the KBO at 11. That is a lot of winning. This league isn't that old. They play in Gwangju. Of course, they're owned by Kia. You might have heard of that company. Kia's got just a few cars in America right now. You know, Shaq, remember Shaq trying to fit into a Kia and he really can't do that? That company owns this team. Their mascots, oh man, this is gonna be so hard. Hoyeoni and Hogioli? I'm so sorry. I'm gonna butcher those. Those are really hard to read, but they're cool little tigers. They have, I think, probably the best jerseys in the KBO. The red, the blue. It looks awesome. Great looking jerseys. They play at Gwangju Kia Champions Field, another one of these KBO stadiums that looks great. And they've got a pretty good fan base as well. I mean, it makes sense. They win a lot. You're gonna have pretty loyal fans. For their foreign players, they have Drew Gagno, another former Met playing in the KBO. Aaron Brooks, a starting pitcher. He pitched for the Oakland A's, the Royals, the Orioles. He's been all over the place. And then their hitter that's gonna be the foreign players, Preston Tucker, a name name that might sound familiar to you. Played for the Astros, played for the Braves. His younger brother, Kyle Tucker, is an absolute stud. For notable players on their team, they've got Hyung-Jung Yang, left-handed pitcher, very good, have been with the Kia Tigers for over 13 years. He's also got some sick rec spec type goggles on. And then they've also got left fielder Hyung-Woo Choi, who's a 36-year-old. He's mostly known for playing with the Samsung Lions, a bit of a power hitter, but the last few seasons have been playing with the Kia Tigers, and he's had some pretty good years. OPS is, just hovering right around 1,000. Probably one of the more popular teams, one of the better teams. They win quite a bit, although the Doosan Bears have been taken over recently. The Kiwoom Heroes. This is a very, very cool team. They were a finalist for a team for me to pick. They're also known as the Seoul Heroes. They are the only team in the KBO who does not have a sponsor or who is not owned by a large company. They have no championships in their history. They were founded in 2008. They actually used to be known as like the Hyundai Unicorns, but they changed, they moved. They're now the Kiwoom Heroes. They're the only team in the KBO to play in a dome. They play in the Gochok Sky Dome, which looks like a really, really cool indoor stadium. MLB, take some notes. Tropicana Field's not nearly as cool as this stadium. I like their mascots. They're kind of like superhero baseball players. I like their colors. I just like everything about them. Their fans, they seem like they're really into the game too. And when you get an indoor stadium, you get that noise. It's even louder. Foreign players, they've got Jake Brigham and Eric Jokic. And then on the hitting side, they've got Taylor Motter, who you might remember played some time with the Mariners. And then the other players to take note of outside of the foreign guys, you've got Byung-Ho Park, who you might have remembered from playing in Major League Baseball. He absolutely tears up the KBO, hits a lot of homers, bat flips, exciting player, drops bombs. And then they've also got a 24-year-old shortstop by the name of Ha-Sung Kim, who's actually getting some Major League Baseball interest. Dude is a fantastic hitter, really good glove. One of the players you definitely should keep an eye on because he's super exciting, super young, and super talented. The KT Wiz, one of the teams that was also a finalist for my team to go with. They play in Suwon. They have 0 championships, and they are the newest team to the KBO. The KT Wiz was literally founded in 2013, so they're a fairly new team to the league. Haven't had much success thus far in their career. Like I said, no championships, no particularly high finishes of note, but I think one thing that the KT Wiz does really well is their jerseys, logos, everything. Jerseys, logos, hats, all of it. That is one of the reasons why they're on my radar. I love the logo, I love the hat, I love the jerseys. This stuff is absolutely fire. And they also have a pretty cool stadium too. Just not a huge amount of fans. Again, they're a newer team. Now, their former players, you might have heard of a couple: William Cuevas, Odrisamir Despaigne, and Mel Rojas Jr. Mel Rojas Jr. was actually like a pretty decently high drafted player by the Pittsburgh Pirates a few years ago. Never really panned out in the majors. Out in Korea, he does really well. Other players to keep note of on the KT Wiz: Daeun Lee, right-handed pitcher's got some flow, a little bit of old school Jacob deGrom, maybe Josh Hader right now. Jae-Gyun Wang is their third baseman, very good hitter, very good player. And then they've got this 20-year-old guy named Bako Gang, but at 20 years old, in his 2 seasons in the KBO, he has posted an OPS hovering right around 900. The boy can rake. KT Wiz, if you want to root for that new team, the young team, that's your choice. All right, so it's time for my team, the LG Twins. Lots of good reasons to root for them. They play in Seoul. They're basically the brother team to the Doosan Bears, very comparable to the New York Yankees and the Mets. They share a stadium with the Bears. They share a city. Their mascots are like twins. They're human-like in baseball jerseys and hats. They're pretty cool. They've won 2 championships in their history. They haven't been like one of the top teams of late. They have some classic-looking jerseys. You're probably not getting some of the coolest, but you are getting that classic look. Some pinstripes on the home, and they got a gray away. They're the team I'm rooting for. They're the team Jared Carabas is rooting for, if that helps. They're also the team that Baseball Brit roots for. So if you like any of those guys, you want to hop on the bandwagon, you know where to find us. Foreign players, they've got Roberto Ramos, who's like this 25, 26-year-old power-hitting first baseman who's in the Rocky system. Don't know why he's in the KBO. He had really good numbers in the minors, but I guess he wanted to play. KBO's going to do that for him. He's going to be great. Tyler Wilson's a right-handed pitcher. He pitched with the Orioles. He hopped around different major league teams. And then you've also got Casey Kelly, who's another pitcher. Other players to keep an eye on: Hyun-Soo Kim had a cup of tea in the majors playing with the Orioles and the Phillies. He's one of the better players on the LG Twins, hits 3 for them. You've got Young Taek Park, who has a great mustache and little beard combo. He's got the glasses. He's also the all-time hit leader in the KBO. He's a legend, and he's awesome. The LG Twins, they got great fans. They got a great stadium. They're a great team. They're basically the New York Mets of the KBO. You gotta root for them if you're a Mets fan. The Lotte Giants. This is a very popular team that I've been seeing on Twitter. They've been like a bottom dweller the last few years in the KBO, so if you're rooting for an underdog story, the Lotte Giants are your team. They play in Busan. They have 2 championships, but like I said, as of late, they haven't been very good. They've got these little birds as mascots. Very cute. I'm not gonna lie. Awesome fan base. Like one of the best fan bases in the KBO. They're loud. They're diehards. You gotta respect that, especially for a team that's not necessarily the best. They have the best hype man apparently in the KBO. He sings. He dances. He's a beast. They've got awesome looking jerseys, very classic, very plain, but it works. I love the look of these jerseys, and they've got a really nice stadium. As for foreign players, they've got Dixon Machado, who's a middle infielder. He hopped around the majors a bit. Dan Straley, you might remember him from the Marlins, the Reds, the Orioles, and also Adrian Sampson, the last two pitchers. Other notable players to talk about are Dae-Ho Lee. You might remember him from the Mariners. He's probably one of their best players, definitely one of their best hitters. Asap Sung, who's their right fielder, another just very talented hitter, all-around good player. Lotte Giants are a sleeper team. You want to root for an underdog? Go with them. That's your pick. The NC Dinos. You might have heard of this team because this is indeed the team that Eric Thames did play for when he went off before he went to the Brewers. 40-40 season, hit 381, won the MVP, no big deal. The NC Dinos are another very popular team from what I'm seeing on social media. A lot of barstool hype around the NC Dinos. Now, they've never won a championship in their history. The company that owns them is pretty cool. They're a gaming company, so if you're a gamer, maybe you hop on the NC Dinos train. They have awesome dinosaur mascots, awesome dinosaur team name like the Dinos. That's awesome. Everybody likes dinosaurs. Dandy and Sari are their real names, but everybody knows them as Swole Daddy, and that alone makes it possibly worth it to root for this team. They have really nice jerseys, clean and simple. Their foreign players are Drew Rosinski and Mike Wright, who are going to be pitchers, and then Aaron Altair, if you're a Mets fan, you remember him last year, but he's also more known for playing with the Phillies and briefly with the Giants. He's going to be their big-time hitter on that roster. A really interesting player that's Korean on the team, Sungbum Na. He's the only Scott Boras client in the KBO, and if you got Scott Boras as your agent, you know you're something good. He's a player who has the potential to make the move over to the major leagues. Very talented, coming off an injury, so he needs to prove himself again, but definitely someone to watch. And then probably one of my favorite players not on the LG Twins, Suk-Min Park, third baseman, cannon of an arm, very funny guy, has a lot of fun on the field, loves the bat flips. I'm a big Suk-Min Park fan. NC Dinos are definitely a fun team. A lot of people rooting for them. Down to the final two here, we're going to get going with the Samsung Lions, who opened up the season going up against the NC Dinos. Samsung obviously owns them. You don't need to know who they are. They've won 8 championships in their history, one of the more historic teams in the league. They have cool little lion mascots, very, very basic jerseys, white and blue, but a classic look. Like, this is one of the old school teams of the KBO. Their stadium, Daegu Samsung Lions Park, looks like one of the coolest stadiums in the KBO. Definitely on my list to visit. Foreign players, not as much hype there. David Buchanan and Ben Lively for pitchers, and then their hitter is Tyler Saladino, who looks a lot like the V for Vendetta guy right now. Wasn't much of a player in the major leagues, but I expect him to have quite an impact in the KBO. And then the last and final team we're going to talk about in today's video is the SK Wyverns. SK is a company, doesn't stand for anything. It's a company. You might be wondering what a wyvern is. I don't really know. I had to look it up. It's a legendary bipedal dragon with a tail that often ends in a diamond or an arrow-shaped tip. Don't know what that is, but dragons are cool. They play in Incheon. They've won 4 championships in their history. Their jerseys are interesting. I don't know if I like them. I don't know if I dislike them. You can make that decision yourself. Their stadium has a sick name, SK Happy Dream Park. That's awesome. What a name for a stadium. You just don't see that over here in America. Lots of mascots. Like, they have some owls. They have like a humanoid mascot. They've got a dragon mascot. They got a lot going on over there at SK. Foreign players to take note of, Nick Kingham, who you might have heard of. He's a pitcher. He pitched with the Pittsburgh Pirates, Toronto Blue Jays. You got Ricardo Pinto, and you've also got Jamie Romack, who's this dude who you haven't heard of much in Major League Baseball, but in the KBO, he absolutely rakes. Big home run hitter. And then keep an eye on Jong Choi. Whoa, does this guy rake? Multiple seasons of 40+ homers, multiple seasons of 30+ homers, third baseman with a lot of pop in his bat. And then on the pitching side, Jung Hoon Park. He's a guy to keep an eye out as well. Decent little right-handed pitcher. So I just went through every team in the KBO, gave you a little history, showed you the jerseys, told you about some notable players. What team do you think you're going to root for in the KBO for the 2020 season? I want to know down in the comments below. Pledge your allegiance to a team. Are you LG Twins? Are you Doosan Bears? Maybe you're the KT Wiz. I'd love to see who you're rooting for down in the comments below. I hope all this information did help you pick. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like. That's the best way to show your support, and let me know you want more KBO content on the channel. I'll keep bringing it to you. Trust me, I'm enjoying it. Remember, subscribe if you have not yet done so, KBO fans, or people who are getting on the KBO hype train. Click that sub button. We don't just do MLB over here. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc. Gonna be talking more KBO over there. Gonna wrap up the video. You guys know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video as well as this is my most recent upload. So click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you guys for watching. KBO is here. We got baseball, and I'm waking up at 5 a.m. again tomorrow to watch some more. See ya. Bye.